Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the commanding officer of 1st Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Clark K. Smith, welcome to today's relief and appointment ceremony in which Tyrone J. Mccullough will relinquish his position as a Sergeant Major to Sergeant Major Austin B. Rice. Today's ceremony is being executed by the Marines and sailors of 1st Battalion, 1st Marines. Now taking his position on the parade field is the commander of troops for today's ceremony, First Sergeant William R. Shiver.
Scout! Bullet!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Lieutenant Andrew D. Goodson, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy. Please be seated.
Take your pose.
Present-day parades in the Marine Corps have their basis in both history and tradition. The mass formation of troops on one long line at close interval made possible the maximum firepower from muzzle-loaded muskets of yesterday. In those early days, the line of battle was just that, a line of 2 or 3 ranks. It looked much like the parade formation you will see today. The adjutant forms the line for battle. The adjutant for today's ceremony is Gunnery Sergeant Hudson.
Adjutant's call!
Gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Disobedient A! All present or accounted for!
Company B! All present or accounted for! Company C! All present or accounted for! Weapons Company! All present or accounted for!
Sir, all present or accounted for?
Publish the order.
Attention to order! Headquarters! First Battalion! First Marines! 10 July 2026! The officer of the day today is First Lieutenant Hart! The officer of the day tomorrow is First Lieutenant West! But order all! Lieutenant Colonel Clark K. Smith! United States Marine Corps! Commanding! Officers! Stand up! Hut!
At the command, officers center march. All unit commanders march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that the commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders that about face would turn to their units and pass information.
Forward. March. Officer. Halt. Ready. 2. Halt. March.
Step. Comrade. March.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the commanding officer, 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, Lieutenant Colonel Clark K. Smith.
Present! Up!
Stand. Present. Up. Stand. Order. Up.
Sergeant Major! Front and center! March!
Since 1875, non-commissioned and staff non-commissioned officers have carried the non-commissioned officer sword as a symbol of their ability and prestige as enlisted leaders of the Marine Corps. The Sergeant Major, as a senior enlisted leader and advisor, is the keeper of traditions for his or her unit. Today's emblematic passing of the sword of office signifies a transfer of this trust from one Sergeant Major to another. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Sergeant Major Tyrone J. Mccullough. Effective 10 July 2026, you will relinquish your duties as the Sergeant Major of 1st Battalion, 1st Marines. Signed, Eric M. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Sergeant Major Austin B. Rice, effective 9/01/10 July 2026. You will assume your duties as a Sergeant Major of 1st Battalion, 1st Marines. Signed, Eric M. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding Officer, 1st Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Clark K. Smith.
Right, thank you. Good morning, sir. Sergeant Major, distinguished visitors, distinguished guests, family, and friends. Thank you all for being here to recognize two phenomenal Marines, Sergeant Major Mccullough and Sergeant Major Rice. Sergeant Major Soto, thank you for being here, for your continued mentorship of 1-1 and everything you do for all the Marines of the Battalion. I want to thank First Sergeant Gallagher, all the company First Sergeants, for the Marines of the formation that have put in hard work throughout this week for making this ceremony happen. Thank you. Your work has been in the middle of pre-deployment training requirements, live fire ranges, and other priorities. So thank you for your emphasis on the ceremony today. And for the Marines in the crowd, it speaks to both of you gentlemen that these people are here. All right, so I'll admit today kind of snuck up on me. Sergeant Major should have been a few months later, and we should have been, kind of wrapping things up on deployment. But this is what's best for you, for your family, and for the battalion, because you're leaving us in such a great spot. Sergeant Major has a retirement coming up in September. We'll recognize 21 years of faithful service, but today is a chance to talk about the 2 years that you spent here in Chromite and how all of us have benefited from your hard work. There's some things I'm going to say because I know Sergeant Major never will. For all of us that know him, he's a humble giant. He puts everybody else first, and he never talks about himself. Sergeant Major had a choice. When he came here, he knew this was going to be his last rodeo in the Marine Corps. There's a lot of things he could have chosen. A lot of other jobs that would have had less stress, less time away from the family, less physical hardships, but that's not the type of person you are. You chose to go hard in the paint, and that's what you've done every single day since you've been here. Sergeant Major, he's walked along the rocks of Afghan Alley on WTI with every fire team and squad in the battalion. And for some of y'all that may not know this, surprisingly, Sergeant Major does not like riding in any type of aircraft. It's like an elephant and a mouse. He does not want to get on them. He does not trust them, whether it be civilian or military. So WTI was kind of his worst nightmare as he experienced every platform the Marine Corps has to offer and did it with somewhat of a happy heart. Sergeant Major has dug the snow trenches out in Bridgeport and also fighting positions at ITX. You've walked the barracks, you stood on countless ranges, and you've been with Marines on the best day of their career and on the worst day of their career. And it's times like that that you can't put in billet accomplishments. And it's tough to really put into awards and codify, but what it does is it's built trust. And you built trust with especially myself, but with all the officer, staff, and COs and Marines of this battalion. One of the things I appreciate most is your honest feedback. There's not a significant decision I've made that I haven't ran by a Sergeant Major first. And not because I had to, but because I trusted your opinion and I wanted your feedback. And I speak for all the Big Six when I say that. You've been a sounding board, you've been an advisor, you've been the person that will say that is a horrible idea, and for that we've all benefited, so thank you for that. Here in Chromite, we have a saying, one heartbeat. And that means when all 1,000 Marines, we're working in unison, we're unstoppable. Sergeant Major Mccullough has embodied that culture and has done more than anybody else to promote that culture and build it here at 1-1. You challenge leaders to get better. You've cared for Marines. You've taken care of them while not lowering the standards, and you've built cohesion here. The culture we have today is not by accident, but because of your hard work. I know there's part of you that's saying, because I've heard you say it, you wish you were going forward with us on this deployment. I can tell you your legacy is going with us. The fingerprints, the DNA that you have throughout this battalion is going with us. The countless late night conversations you've had with Marines in the barracks, mentoring the company commanders, platoon sergeants, the things you've done for me, every lesson, every leader you've mentored will go with us. And that'll be with us the rest of our lives. Especially the rest of our careers. Every ounce of pride you pour in the battalion is going to go with us. To Katie, I want to thank you and the kids for sharing your husband and their father for the last 2 years. We know you've made a lot of sacrifices behind the scenes. The partnership you have with Maria with all the spouses has been phenomenal. The fact that you moved to North Dakota in December with 4 kids and a dog, while Sergeant Major went to ITX, is very impressive. And it is not lost on us all the sacrifice that y'all put forth. So from Sergeant Major to Katie, bottom of my heart, bottom of battalion's heart, thank you. Good job, well done. To Sergeant Major Reich, welcome to Chromite. We are incredibly fortunate to gain a leader of your caliber to come in here. And I know just from your background as an infantryman, you also had decisions. You didn't have to accept these orders, you did it with enthusiasm because you knew we were going out the door and we needed strong leadership. So I look forward to working alongside you and continue the momentum of Chromite. Welcome to the team. Rob, you got it. Sergeant Major, Rob.
Friends, commanders, guests, distinguished guests, 1-1, thank you for coming. Thank you for attending the ceremony. I AI'd a speech. I read it a couple of times, and then I realized that remembering a speech that I didn't really have a heart of was going to be very hard to do. But I do want to start off with one person. It's windy out here, just dust. But so for 24 months. I've been with 1-1. I think out of the 14 months I've been away from my family. She has never questioned me coming home late. She has never questioned me leaving early. We do have a one heartbeat mindset in the battalion, and she carries that through our kids. Being away for 7 months, the kids going to school, new place. We didn't have family while we were traveling the world, but she had brought that family together. They're better than they are with or without me because of her and the sacrifice she does. There's nothing that they won't do or see. I think the vehicle has like another 100,000 miles on it because they just keep going. They're going to sports an hour away in the middle of blizzards. It doesn't matter if it's a tornado watch, she's getting everybody there, and I really appreciate it that you're continuing the life when I'm gone and to make sure everybody's safe. Thank you. I love you. Sir, for you, it's been fun. Buddy team, the snow, freezing weather, the WTI, which was again not the best time in the world, being in the air. I don't like that, but I think the mentorship, the leadership, the one-on-one conversations, you trusting me as a senior enlisted leader, allowing me to help with decisions and mold the battalion has been, I don't have words for it, sir. It's just been remarkable. I really appreciate it. Sergeant Major Soto, I know you and I have lots of conversation. I really appreciate it, and I'm humbled that you're here. I really appreciate your mentorship and just getting me to the next level and continuing that, pushing me forward and continue to push me forward is, I think, a great thing for the whole division, and I'm so happy to be one of the sergeant majors under your charge. Thank you. For regiment, sir, Sergeant Major, I wish I had you a couple of years ago. What you're doing with this regiment right now is outstanding. You pushing the battalions every day. Both of you, I really appreciate it. Thank you. For Chromite, we do certain things, right? I've asked a lot of you to do things that you didn't think you were capable of doing. You did it. I need you to continue to hold the standard of the clock, the Marine Corps. This is what we're here for. If you look to your left and right, you have Marines every day that are doing the same thing, and you need to thrive at it. Encourage each other to be better, do things harder, and continue the action that you do. Remember, take care of each other. There's nothing that you can't stop or do. Sergeant Major Rice, welcome aboard. You and I have served together in the past. This is like the perfect time, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I know the person that's going to replace me. And it's hard to do it, but it's great, and I'm glad it's you. If you push these Marines, they'll do anything you do. Take care of them, they'll do anything you do. Sometimes they might not like it, but they don't understand why they don't like it until we show them. So with that being said, I have one last thing. If you get in a fight, what are you going to do? Win! Sergeant Major, 1st Battalion, 1st Marine, Sergeant Major Rice.
Thank you, Sergeant Major Mccullough. Good morning, commanding officers, sergeants major, distinguished guests, friends and family. Thank you for having me, and sir, thank you for your kind words. I'm looking forward to Sergeant Major Mccullough. I'm thrilled to see that I'm coming into such a good thing, and I'm going to do everything that I can to take the torch and carry it forward. I'll do everything that I can for these young Marines and sailors, and I'm looking forward to telling you how well they knock it out of the park in this upcoming deployment. Sergeant Major Soto, thank you for being here and showing such intimate support from one of your many battalions. So it means a lot that you're here. Thank you. And Sergeant Major Mormon, in just a couple of interactions I've had with you and conversations, I've grown a lot of you very well. So thank you for your mentorship and for what you've done for me in such a brief amount of time. Really helping my trajectory of getting spun up out of and getting ready to take these Marines and sailors up. So thank you, Sergeant Major. Okay. Hey, to the Marines, I'm humbled and honored to be able to stand here in front of you as your new Sergeant Major. I don't have to think back very far to remember what it was like to be Lance Cpl in one of these formations. And right now, my promise to you is to hold the line, take care of you. I'll be honest. I'll be there for you. I give a shit about you. But right now, those are just words, but you'll see in my actions as we get ready to go out the door and deploy into what is the unknown and what America has in store for us. In that region, it could be anything. We could be just following the teeth that we have planned, or somebody could throw a wrench, and we could very well be finding ourselves somewhere that we are very much prepared for. And that's because of the hard work that you've done up until this point. So I'm looking forward to being your Sergeant Major. But personally, I will very much be just another man in the stack. And thank you to all the hard work, to everybody involved in the ceremony. First Sergeant, everybody that's here, standing in the formation right now, and everybody that's set up. Thank you. It looks really good. You guys knocked it out of the park. So the unit's legacy, I read up on the unit's legacy, and it goes back, and it's quite prestigious, back to the World Wars. But I know that this unit's legacy isn't just history. It's everything that this unit is doing now, and preparing in developing for what comes in this deployment. And so I'll do everything that I can to prove why this unit remains 1-1 right of line, first of foot. So thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor those who have served in the 1st Marine Division, the division song, Waltzing Matilda, will now be played. The song originates from Australia, where the division maintained a training base in World War II and prepared for the island campaigns. Over the decades, the division's Marines and sailors have marched off to war to this historic tune. We ask that those who served in the division from World War II to those currently serving in the Blue Diamond today stand to be recognized. We respectfully request all others to remain seated and silent to honor those absent who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and those present who have served the 1st Marine Division. After the playing of Waltzing Matilda, we ask all others to please rise to the playing of Anchors Aweigh and the Marines hymn. It is now customary that Marines, present and who have served honorably, sing the first verse of the hymn.
Sir, this concludes today's ceremony.
Dismiss the prince.
Aye, sir. Company first, Sergeant! Dismiss your company!
Aye, sir!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the commanding officer, officers, and Marines of 1st Battalion, 1st Marines, thank you for your attendance and Semper Fidelis.